So yesterday I made this video asking about why the B2B sales reply rates from South Americans are just a lot higher than people from the US. And I used translation for the Spanish version, which means it might sound a little bit robotic, but still I got really high reply rates. And then I was just reading one of the comments from one of the viewers, and I just feel like the answer is really interesting. For business or not for business, right? I just wanted to share this. So they say that South Americans are highly social. Making and maintaining social connection is important for them. And when someone engages in any facet of their exchange is intense, they're aware that life is fragile. I like that a lot. And then they continue, perhaps we will not get another moment to speak to you as an individual again. That's actually a really, really good way to think about life, because that's true. Sometimes the first time you see someone or talk to someone is the last time you speak to this person. Our connection with people is important to us, and not the American superficial manner, where smiling, answering simplistically is the business norm. Okay? And then the more we speak, the more we know whether the receiving end is really listening with the intent to care and comprehend, or if they're only there to listen and reply. We're romantics too. We're intense peoples. I think basically they meant Latinos or South Americans, they care a lot about relationships with people, and they care about connections. They share how they think, and they don't fake their feelings, and they can be intense. I like this answer a lot. And I replied, they said, I absolutely love that. And then they say that not everyone does, but you're absolutely right. It is cultural, because in the previous video, I was asking if it's cultural that people from Latino American culture just reply to my random messages more frequently than people from the US. And then they said, also, Spanish is a language you can be very poetic with. See, even if I can write in English, it's more info than an English speaker would generally exchange. I like this a lot. I think doing business or making friends, it's all really cultural based. When we think about B2B sales, yes, most startup founders or most AI companies or software companies are targeting North American market, because the US market is obviously the biggest one. But when you look at other cultures and other regions, there's just always a very different way to communicate and connect with people, right? Like, I'm Chinese. When I speak to Chinese people, it's totally different from the case when I'm speaking to Americans. And if you're targeting Japanese market, it's a different story. Latin American market is also different. I really like this mindset or mentality that we need to understand how people from that region think and what kind of people they are. And then we can do business or make friends later. You really always need to master the language and master the culture before you can build any meaningful connections. Thanks for your attention.